Trotting down the path of the cerato is something I've done often in recent months. With Omniraptor being heavily affected by even the smallest amounts of lag, and Diablo feeling more like a freight train that very rarely succeeds in crop dusting its enemies as opposed to a venomous night devil, my preference for smaller carnivores was basically out. Oh, but what about Trudon, you ask? Well, what about it? You and I both know, what about Trudon? Anyway, as I've already thrown myself at Dibbles as Carno, and with the former getting a weight buff, it was time to bring out the current best brawling carnivore to face the single best brawling herbivore the dinosaur survival genre has seen thus far. We weren't long into our growth when we crossed paths with the first proper obstacle. Or at least what should have been a proper one, if he hadn't absolutely panicked and tried to flee instead of fighting back.
He gave me a fright.
Just instantly makes him vomit.
He bit me once, it hurt.
Where is he?
He's fleeing.
I mean, he can't really
There
go
he
anywhere.
is.
Where?
It's right here.
Nice.
He's swimming.
Should I cross?
He's stuck.
Oh, he ran right past me.
Where is he?
He ran right past me. He's going back now.
Alright. He's right here. Dead.
Oh, you killed him?
Yeah, he's dead.
Yes.
His body is... Where'd he go? He's right here for me.
Well, talk about success.
Heck yes.
When it comes to playing on the later stages of the Horde test, when the initial shininess of the new toys has worn off and people begin to grow tired of the bugs, servers don't always stay full. Ultimately, I had to grow a cerato on 2 separate servers, as the no AI server became a barren wasteland not long after we reached adulthood. Rather than tossing one life in favor of another, they're both going to exist in tandem moving forward. Aren't you lucky? We were hardly above 50% grown when we hit a major obstacle.
Carno!
Luckily, I had Acro watching my back as the Carno went for a charge, and I was able to move forward at the last moment, taking a tail hit instead of the headshot he'd planned. One adult Carno. A bit of a tall order for a pair of fresh adult ceratos, but I think you'll find that in many cases, acting confident is half the battle in a low-odds fight.
Another Carno.
Of course, when the second Carno arrived, our odds went from low to abysmal. We can't outrun Carnos, and fleeing simply wasn't an option. At that point, all we could do was watch each other's backs and fight as best we possibly could.
They're both behind you.
And then the third arrived. The last one wasn't much of a threat. It was still quite small. Just another complication added on top of our already harrowing situation. One down,
Nice.
2 to go.
Stay near the body.
With the carcass on the ground, I took advantage of the body buff, staying near it for safety while Acro discouraged the remaining Carnos from continuing to mess with us.
Here, stay behind me, stay behind me. I'm very good on help. Stay behind the body. I got him. Careful.
Meanwhile, in an alternate universe, we were getting hungry and doing our best to scavenge while the server was relatively quiet. We did not expect to see a dibble, and his immediate defensive posture hinted at his overall nervousness at being near two quite young ceratos. We weren't really looking for a fight, but there's some kind of primal instinct that I think is triggered in most people and animals when they see something acting skittish. Or maybe that's just me. Regardless, when the dibble didn't simply ignore us and confidently trot away, or alternatively attack on sight like the vicious wrecking ball they are capable of being, we decided to poke the bear. At least we had a proper meal now. Cerato is, by nature, a cannibalistic species in the Isle. They are also the devourers of rot, and in our case, a bit territorial. We don't take kindly to other ceratos hovering around for too long. There's been many times that the ones that hover are planning an attack when they know we're weak. So, after catching sight of the same one a few too many times within a relatively decent time frame, we decided not to take the risk. Hot on his trail and stalking him through the darkness, though, we were distracted by a pair of young Diablos. The cerato can wait. This is the Horde test. We've fought plenty of ceratos on Life Branch. Dibbles are the greater challenge anyway.
They probably saw me though, to be fair. We'll just hard target one.
The darker one.
Ouch.
Okay, that really hurt.
Ow. She vomited? I'm fine.
The dark one?
Yep. Nice. I'm at health.
Alright, back.
I got the black one. Just need to be careful. Okay.
One somewhat messy hunt later. One dibble was down, and I let the other go on its way. This would be plenty to hold us over while we healed from the encounter. Fully healed and enjoying full stomachs, we made our way toward West Rail. The server population was declining rapidly, and knowing that this may be our last opportunity to use these particular ceratos, we figured we might as well check out the beach. When we spotted a freshly dead, untouched adult Diablo carcass on the path, though, we felt the need to investigate further. Whatever had killed it was still likely nearby, which meant there was a good chance of finding either a stego or another Diablo to practice on.
Yes!
Ah, canny. Canny dibble. Shall we?
There's two. There's three!
A single cannibal dibble was one thing, but three was pushing it. Fighting more than one was dangerous, especially after our previous encounter.
3 of them, that's not worth it.
Yeah, 2 of them were sitting down. But yeah, no. Heck no.
No way, we're not doing that. Mm-mm.
I mean, hey. Hold on. 2 of them vomited.
2 of them vomited?
Yeah.
Oh.
But Acro is incredibly persuasive sometimes. With 2 of them having recently vomited, they wouldn't be able to camp for long. They would absolutely have to make their way to water and grazing, and that added pressure of worrying about their water levels would leave them vulnerable. Getting them on the move was step 1. Then, theoretically, we just had to divide and conquer by keeping them away from the water as long as possible.
Am I faster than them? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. They are moving way fast. Oh my goodness!
How?
Get out of here, boy. He
I'm
vomited
gonna be
too?
honest. Oh, he did? Interesting. I'm still yellow from that, actually. Keep them distracted.
I'm on the one of the smaller ones. I'm too
You
far
don't
away
phone
to
me?
help you if you get knocked down though, so be careful.
On
the
is he
small
speed
one?
hacking? Okay.
You remember what I said about hovering ceratos, waiting until they think you're weakened before they attack? A heavy dose of distrust will sometimes keep you alive. The instant those ceratos took their first step in my direction, I was suspicious of their intentions.
Careful of these other 2 ceratos. I don't trust them. They're running at me.
Yeah, no.
They're coming for me.
They wanted me, and I wasn't going to just roll over and die quietly.
Oh, I'm stuck. They think we're more injured than we are? Oh, okay, that
No, I charged at you.
it very much hurt.
Come towards me. This one's running away.
Yep, so it's this one.
They're separating.
Yep. Gosh, this lag. One's dead.
I guess they should have double-checked that we were actually injured before thinking they were going to snatch a couple of easy kills. With the no AI server officially dead, there was nothing to be done but move back to NA1 for further chaos. And by that, I mean the absolute annihilation of a land dino. My favorite pastime.
Oh, you poor thing. Ah.
After spending some time doing community service, gorging ourselves on every single corpse we could find in South to reduce overall server lag, we were sitting pretty. The area was mostly clean and the lag was at the lowest it had been since restart. On my way down the hill to grab water, I glanced over my shoulder and spotted the Carnos. They may have failed their ambush, but I took more hints than I'd have liked before Acro realized that I was under attack. In the face of a second cerato, the adult fled while the sub attempted to do something. With Acro hot on the sub's trail, I continued after the adult. He managed to cross the river, throwing me off his tail, but his buddy led Acro directly to him, and that was that.
Did you die? Or am I out of...
Sometimes you make plans and meet up with your friends organically. You show up at the agreed upon place and everything is well. And sometimes you need diets and don't bother to find out who you're eating. Sorry about that, Turk. Anyway, after he respawned, we met up with Turkish Delight, who led us to Jace, the other Cerato who had fled. They'd been looking to hunt Diablos before we, ate one of them, so we joined in their mission to clean up some of the excess of Diablos across the map. With 4 Ceratos, we would be nearly unstoppable. Solo dibbles beware. Here comes trouble.
Where'd he go?
Oh. That may have...
He can't really do much against us.
You
I
think
missed.
that... Ow! Oh, how did I dodge that? That's a hit.
Gotta try fight on him.
The first one we found didn't seem to know how to use his sparring stance or slide in battle. The 2 greatest tools in a dibble's arsenal against, well, just about everything. Incredibly unfortunate for him. Even more unfortunate for the dibble who walked around the corner and became the immediate next target. With 4 ceratos, intestines are a valuable resource, and we needed a lot of them to reactivate our diets. 1 dead dibble is not enough. This, in my opinion, is why so much apparently needless killing takes place in Abrima. Although a single dibble provides plenty of food for a pack of ceratos, diets are another matter. If you want to be the strongest, healthiest version of yourself, you have to maintain a balanced diet. And in order to do that, mass killing is almost a necessity as a larger carnivore in a pack. I personally dislike this part of the diet system immensely, but I don't currently have an idea for a better solution. Even with 2 dibbles down, none of us had our lines activated. Unfortunate. The killing must continue. We made our way east toward the Delta Rivers. A little birdie told us that there was another Diablo in that area, and with our ravenous need for intestines, we set off to find the next target. When we arrived, the birdie that gave us the lead turned out to actually be a duck. Using the water, sparring, and slide heavily, the dibble fought like a champion. Unfortunately for him, the odds were not exactly in his favor, and though we lost Turk, the dibble fell as well. We moved back toward the highlands. Between Turk's carcass and the dibbles, we still needed more intestines. My own diet hadn't been active in quite some time, and between the 4 surviving ceratos, only one of us had a fully activated, balanced diet. The pack had found 2 more dibbles in the canyon. We'd already left a trail of carcasses in our wake, but we had to do what we had to do for the sake of our diets. Jace went down and the larger dibble began to flee as his smaller buddy also died. I remained behind with the carcasses, taking the intestines from both to finally activate my last diet. Acro and Ducky pursued the adult dibble. There was never enough to go around. I caught up to them as a second adult dibble appeared to defend the injured one. While Acro and Duck distracted the new one, I flanked the other as he attempted to sneak away from the fight. He didn't get far. Unfortunately, the other dibble took his death personally. Eventually, the pack of dibble doom and destruction had to come to an end. Acro and I said our goodbyes and logged out for the afternoon. Several days later, I was ready for more action. Playing cerato, at least in my case, scratches an itch that Omni hasn't been able to since the latency issues became more prevalent. We made our way across the south area, looking for whatever we could find. The server wasn't overly full, but there's always someone to be found if you look hard enough. We didn't have to look long, or very hard, before we started spotting raptors. Have you ever heard the saying that if you see one rat, there's probably more nearby? The same holds true for raptors right now. Initially, I ignored them. The two we could see were definitely not interested in our approach, and kept their distance. But when one pounced me from behind, it was on.
Vomit.
There's a few things you should know when it comes to fighting raptor packs. First and foremost, never allow them to separate you from your companion. You need to watch each other's backs and prevent each other from being pinned. Second, always assume that there are more raptors than you can initially see. They're like piranhas. The second they smell blood, they begin to swarm.
Across the water. Killed one. Killed one of the subs. Weirdness. Why do so many raptors try as if they're venom? Someone just pounced me, so I just simply decided, okay, if you're gonna do that, fine. I'll knock you off of a tree, and he just didn't get off.
As morning broke and the sun rose, the raptors' skins became more visible. Well now, who is this bootleg acronym raptor? The fight up to this point had been mostly just amusement. If you're going to wear the crown, though, you'd better be able to play the part. While the real acronym did his thing beside the river, I settled into what appeared like it would be a 1v1 against the bootleg version.
Who wins? None of them. Meta wins. Wish you can read it.
Come on, quit being a coward. Come fight me.
Oh, hi.
Should I just lay down in front of him?
Yeah.
He was too cautious, keeping his distance for far too long, not really attacking. When a second showed up but also didn't attack, I remained unconcerned. After an extremely long standoff, he finally went in for a pounce. Can someone explain to me when this weird chest pounce thing was added, and why I can't just bite their nose off when they do it? It's happened to me twice now in the Horde test, where it should have been a face kick instead of latching into a pounce, and it's incredibly annoying. Finally, all the waiting and standing and hoping he'd actually attack came to an end.
I'm on you.
An ambush. Alright,
Come towards me.
I can respect the hustle. Fair play.
Come with me.
Now, however, I was in trouble. 2 face kicks and a double pounce. My bleed was not going to be okay. Happy fun time was over. Acro rushed to my aid, and it wouldn't take much to bleed me out after that ambush. I wouldn't be able to stand alone. With his aggressive defense, I did the only thing I could do. stand still in a bush and hope that my blood stopped pouring out of me like someone had left the tap running. One raptor attempted to flank me, failing horribly and taking a bite to the face for his trouble. That one backed out of the fight and vanished. Fake Acro made a similar attempt, but the server said no to both of us, and he escaped unscathed. Now, though, my bleed was beginning to look horrible, and all I could do was hope and pray that it would stop soon. Otherwise, a single pounce would finish me off easily.
Yeah. Now we have to poke her face for a little bit.
Oh, I'm really hungry too. Crap.
I charged it back on it.
Kill him! Make him dead!
This guy's so low.
I killed one raptor, but took a pounce from another for my trouble. At least now I had some food. My own was getting much lower than was comfortable.
No. Thank you. That was worth it.
With Fake Row down, the rest of the pack seemed to lose a significant portion of their boldness. But neither of us was doing well bleed-wise. When I turned and spotted a Herrera climbing the tree we were standing under, though, we knew it was time to get out of here. Acro's blood pool was significantly lower than mine and dropping fast. He needed to lay down and heal or he was going to die. With my own already healing, I ran interference.
Nope, I will die. That's the thing. Yeah. No. I'm willing to let them go. Like, once my bleed heals, I'm gonna run. Do not get pounced.
A missed pounce and my apparent lack of fear of being in the open had the pack deciding to back down. Somehow, we managed to poker face our way out of the situation and fled to regenerate our blood pools. Mostly healed and with food and diets back in our bellies, we were casually minding our business and eating another cerato we'd killed when the dibble spotted us. At first, he simply walked by, appearing uninterested. But when he turned back, we knew he wasn't going to allow us to eat in peace. That's fine. If he was looking for a fight, we'd give it to him. Things were not going well, to say the very least. I was wounded, Acro was low, and while the dibble had vomited a few times already, we were not really in a state to keep fighting. Of course, sometimes we don't know when to quit. Sometimes we are determined to try and win the battle, even if we ultimately lose the war. I backed off, needing to heal what I could and regain as much stamina and blood as possible. I kept an eye on our target, though, unwilling to let him escape. Granted, he didn't really try. He simply wandered to the waterfall and got a drink. As Acro kept an eye on him from one side, I decided to move around to the other, so he couldn't cross the falls and feel fully safe. I was a sneeze away from death, but I simply needed to provide pressure and keep an eye on it. Acro had the mutation that allowed him to eat and heal, so there was no rush. I would simply heal slowly and watch out from out of reach. Or at least that was the idea. As I came around the corner to swap out who was watching him, Acro headed for food. The dibble had been laying down on my side of the falls, right by the crossing spot, when Acro walked away. By the time my night vision could reach where he'd been, he had completely vanished. I approached the area cautiously, checking all angles and areas he could be hiding as I did so. The closer I got, the more baffled I was. He couldn't possibly have gone anywhere in such a short amount of time, between when Acro looked away and when I arrived. And yet, there weren't even footprints. Absolutely confused, I approached the falls themselves to see if it had crossed to the other side. And then I died. You tell me how he got there, because I've checked and rechecked that spot. There is nowhere he could have hidden and still come from that angle. Unless he's part Herrera. Dang suspicious. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and comment your thoughts below. If you're new, please consider subscribing for more content like this. See you soon!